Okay, so listen. There is this woman. She has this show that comes on in the morning at like 6 o'clock, right? And one morning, she was reading Cash Apps. People can pay $5 and she'll read whatever the Cash App is. And she read this Cash App about someone who he thought she was a good friend of his. And she was talking about some charges that he has. Now, she said, don't shoot the messenger. She's just reading the Cash App, which is crazy to me. Three things came out of that, right? What is the responsibility of the host in what they read, and especially how harmful it is to the person that they're reading it to? In this instance, it was harmful because that person allegedly is her friend, and she's bringing up his DV charges and the fact that he doesn't pay child support or something like that. Now, what happened is what usually happens on all of any messy TikTok. One person gets involved and they give their opinion, and then everyone attacks the other person for their opinion. And then wherever the original problem started, everyone forgets because they're sidetracked by all of these side missions. To me, when I look at it, I always see about 3 or 4 people who are always inserting themselves. But since I've been like blocking and unfollowing a lot of people, I have to like look for whatever is going on. I just so happen to have seen it. Anyway, my conspiracy theory, all of the larger creators on the messy side of Black TikTok want to get together and host a Zoom so that they can have a ceasefire of sorts. My conspiracy is that Slim, the god, he had mentioned earlier this morning that he has something on Diamond, who was the morning show host. He has something on Diamond, and if she really wanted to go there, and she was like, well, release it. Release whatever you have. Which I'm on her side. Like when someone's like, oh, I got something on you, I'm always like, bet. Do it. So that I can get myself free of your extortion and threats. So there's that. But also, another part of my conspiracy is that Kev the comic, whoever he is, he came up with this idea to have like a Zoom ceasefire. Let's all the big content creators get together and talk about how we can stop the toxic behavior. My thought was that Slim actually has something on Diamond. Diamond may know what Slim has. So maybe Diamond hit up Kev the comic and was like, we need to do something because I just can't have this coming out. And then Kev the comic goes, well, I know how to manipulate this situation. Let's have a come together of all of these egos and characters and say, we're going to cease fire. And I'll handle it for you. You don't have to worry about a thing. Now, I know you're probably thinking if you have made it this far in my video, that's a reach, Leola. But I want to remind you of the Democratic, when I guess it was like when Biden was running for president, and there was that one guy, Lila, this one guy, Bloomberg. He was like a front runner, right? And everyone was like, you know what? You've owned this media company for all of these years, yada, yada, yada. But there have been some things that have been unsavory about Bloomberg. And why don't you say right now that you are going to release the NDAs that you've had all these people sign? And he was like, well, political jargon. And then he dropped out of the race. And then everyone forgot that Bloomberg didn't go on with the race because he had too many skeletons in his closet. But you know who cleaned that all up for him? Legacy Media. And so everyone kind of forgot about it. And so knowing that Kev the comic and others know how to navigate in this media world, it's not so much as a reach to think that they would do a little Darvo tactics and say, hey, let's just get together for a peaceful meeting. So then whoever's idea was for the peaceful meeting, they look like the good guy and everyone has to fall in line. Then you have some random dude looking like a hero, Diamond can just go about her merry way, continue to do the cash apps for $5 to say mean, terrible things about her friends. And then no one really looks at what Slim is up to and what's really true about his child support and cases and jail. And then on top of that, if you have this big Zoom meeting of these people who all feel like they're so important, whoever the one that can say, like, we're going to hold ourselves to these rules and standards, but then are they ever going to admit what they've done to people and the toxicity that they have exhibited? And hey, I think all of it's shenanigans. I don't believe in anything that people do anymore because money is the love of money is the root of all evil. And all of these people need to get that into their thick skulls because it's not a good idea. It's a big self-important meeting of these rules and ideas, these bright ideas. I think it's a good idea. I'm gonna be one of the people and some trashing on all of it. I'm gonna trash on all of it. There's no way in H double hockey sticks that I would ever, ever go, oh, I'm gonna be so much nicer now. Never. There are some things that just can't be undone and unsaid. And these big creators, content creators, they're the ones who started the toxicity. Now it's gotten out of hand and you want to ceasefire. But let's not forget, this all started because Diamond can get paid $5 to say the most mean, vile things to some of her friends. I will never forget. And she said that Trina looked like a Frederick Douglass who needs to get a job. Like that will always be in my head because she read that. She saw it, she read it, she knew how that would affect someone, just like she did it with Slim. And Slim was hooting and hollering when it was happening, but now since it's happened to him, we need to get rid of the whole Cash App thing. Miss me with the BS. But hey, I got to get back to finish straightening my hair so I can go and get a haircut. It's funny. I swear these people think that they're like Idina Menzel or something, but who am I? I'm just a woman, single, 2 children, virgin, 25. What do I know?